A rectangular dolmen, extended dolmen or enlarged dolmen is a specific type of megalith, rectangular in shape, with upright sidestones and, usually, two capstones. The term rectangular dolmen was coined by Ekkehard Aner and is used especially in the German state of Schleswig-Holstein, where dolmens with this type of ground plan primarily occur. A more precise term, however, is extended dolmen, used by Ewald Schulte and Ernst Sprockhoff, because these types of dolmen also occur with trapezoidal ground plans. Neolithic monuments owe an expression of the culture and ideology of Neolithic communities. Their emergence and function are a hallmark of social development. Capstones and Passageway. Whilst the simple dolmen as a rule only had one capstone, the rectangular dolmen, which differs primarily in the orientation of its support stones from the simple dolmen, usually had two capstones. Once a third capstone is added, it is called a great dolmen in Germany. A subgrouping of this type of dolmen is based on the ever-present entranceway, which, for example, could be designed with a roof-height half-stone or single-angle support stones. Mounds. Within long mounds, rectangular dolmens are usually oriented at right angles to the axis of the enclosure. The proportion of rectangular dolmens in round mounds, compared with simple dolmens, increases in Schleswig-Holstein from 20% to at least 27%. The proportion of mounds is probably higher, because experience has shown that circular mounds leave fewer traces than stone enclosures. In Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, however, only 2 of the 20 extended dolmens surveyed by E. Schulte were covered by round mounds. Entrances. Most types of dolmen that form part of the Nordic megalith architecture genre are open at one end. Occasionally, a short passage is built in front the chamber, often of just 1 or 2 pairs of stones of 1.0–1.5 meters in length. Even at undisturbed sites, it is often so short that it does not extend out as far as the stones of the enclosure or the stones around the mound, and just forms the antechamber to the main chamber. The place in the enclosure where one would have expected there to be a gap is closed, so that the stone in the row forming a side of the enclosure would have to be removed in order to get into the dolmen. In Denmark and Sweden, the passages could be much longer, especially in the round mounds that are much more common there. In Sicily, Monte Barbounia dolmen is a chambered tomb 2.20 mount length, made of colossal splinters of rock, with no significant modifications. In rectangular shape. Distribution. Rectangular dolmens, which are generally over 2 meters, and sometimes over 3 meters, in length and 0.9 to 1.5 meters wide, continued the trend of increasing the size of the interior of the chamber, a tendency already seen in the development of simple dolmens. About 145 of these chambers occur in Schleswig-Holstein, where it is the most common type of dolmen. It is also found throughout the entire coastal region and on the East Frisian Islands, and its distribution reaches the Elbe south of Lake Plön, where it is also seen south of the river in Lower Saxony. In Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania, 54 extended dolmens have survived of an estimated 98 formerly. Rectangular dolmens also occur in groups within stone enclosures, whilst in Denmark up to 5 dolmens may be found in one enclosure. In Germany, the sites at Warbs in the district of Rendsburg-Eckernförde has 3 rectangular dolmens, and the one at Kampen on Sylt has 3 polygonal dolmens in a single enclosure. A far greater number of enclosures, but also a few round mounds, have 2 dolmens or chambers. Literature. Mummornfanzer. Großeingraberswischen Wetter und Dems. 3rd Revised Edition. Isanci, Oldenburg 2000, ISBN 3-89598-741-7. Michael Schmidt. Die Altenstein. Raisins a Megalith Culture in Mitteleuropa. Historf, Rostock, 1998, ISBN 3-35600-796-3. Jürgen E. Walkowitz. Das Megalith Syndrome. Europäische Kultplätze der Steinzeit. Beyer & Baron, Lang & Weisbach, 2003, ISBN 3-930036-70-3.